Greetings. My name is Anne Marie Fuco, and I am Superintendent for the St. Michael Albertville School District. I would like to welcome you to our Retiree and Hall of Fame induction ceremony. I wish we were able to honor and celebrate our retirees and Hall of Fame inductees in person with the fanfare that they so deserve, but unfortunately, that's not possible. However, to be clear, big bands booming are certainly in order to celebrate these distinguished retirees and Hall of Fame inductees. Instead, due to unforeseen circumstances, we are honoring these individuals virtually. We also plan to honor them in person at a school board meeting when it is safe to do so. I would like to thank our retirees, Hall of Fame inductees, staff members, school board members, family, friends, and others for joining us virtually as we honor and celebrate our distinguished retirees and Hall of Fame inductees. I am delighted and excited to honor these esteemed individuals for their service to the St. Michael Albertville School District. This year, we have 10 staff members retiring. The 10 retirees represent over 212 years of service to STMA students and staff. This translates into thousands and thousands of student lives that these 10 individuals have touched throughout their time in the district. Their work is truly a celebration of the future. I want to commend each and every one of them for consistently demonstrating solid character, perseverance, and an unparalleled work ethic. They have shown continuous determination, and I am happy that we get to recognize their efforts and achievements. We also have 2 inductees for the district's Hall of Fame. The 2 inductees, Mr. Earl Baumann and Mr. Darryl Skogen, are very deserving of this recognition. They both have a long-standing history of service to the district and have contributed to the district's strong tradition of excellence. Their commitment to STMA students and the district is infallible, and their work is a promise of a bright future. Mr. Baumann and Mr. Skogen, thank you. Thank you for your service to the district and for your continued support. Retirees, thank you. Thank you for your service to STMA Public Schools. Take pride in this accomplishment as you have certainly earned these accolades. We often talk about how our district ranks high in academics or how many awards in the arts or athletics that we receive, but I want to point out that none of that would be possible if it wasn't for the retirees who have served the district so well. It is their steadfast dedication and devotion that they bring to school each and every day that helps our student achieve tremendous success. Through your commitment, families are proud to have their children attend STMA, and they greatly appreciate the tradition of excellence in academics, arts, activities, and athletics. I wish you the best of luck as you start the next part of your journey. May you encounter prosperity, joy, good health, and the love of your family. I also want to extend a sincere thanks to the family members and friends who are watching this virtually. Thank you for your support over the years and for sharing your loved ones with us so she or he could make a difference in the lives of so many children. In closing, and on behalf of the school board, staff, and students, I would like to congratulate our 2020 Hall of Fame inductees and retirees. You will forever remain in the hearts of our students and colleagues that you have touched over the years. We are grateful to you for sharing your time and talents in so many ways and hope you relish in the memorable moments you have created over the years. It's been a privilege working alongside you, and I wish you every happiness in your much-deserved retirement.
Earl was very committed both to STMA High School and the community. He was somebody who built great relationships with staff members, with students, with parents, with business owners, with players. He was somebody who everybody enjoyed spending time around, and that level of commitment was something that was really fun to see. Earl was a great motivator, and he had this unique ability to get the most out of kids. He knew how to push buttons, and sometimes that meant raising his voice, but sometimes that meant putting his arm around kids and bringing them along. That motivation piece was something that I really admired about him. Earl had a tremendous impact on our community. When this school was being built, we built this amazing wood shop, and that was really because of Earl's influence. He was able to get so many kids involved in that elective class and grew that program, and the same thing with the football program. He was able to generate excitement over the things that he was involved with, and when that excitement came, then there was more participation, and then you see that kind of spread not just through the school, but also through the community. He really had a tremendous impact on kids and everybody that those kids were then connected to as well. Earl's been retired for about 10 years already, and he hasn't slowed down. He's still building houses and doing remodels and fixing things up, and that's just Earl. He's never been one to really sit still. I think Earl was selected for the Hall of Fame because of his long-standing commitment to our school and our community. He was basically responsible for the building of our old football stadium at what is now Middle School West, the growth in our tech ed program, and the amazing wood shop we have here at this high school right now. Those are all legacies that Earl has left on our community, and I think that makes him a very worthy member of the STMA Hall of Fame.
Congratulations to Darryl Skogen, one of this year's Hall of Fame award winners. Darryl came to STMA in 1975 as a teacher at the high school. But right away, he made an impact, not just on high school kids, but on every kid that he had a chance to meet. One of his first assignments after starting teaching was to work during the summer in a summer enrichment program. And that's when I had the opportunity to meet Darryl for the very first time. I was a young kid in elementary school at the time, taking enrichment classes, learning how to play chess and cribbage. And Darryl was one of the teachers that we got to meet that summer. Even though he was trained as a high school teacher, he immediately made an impact on all of us little kids because of his enthusiasm, because of his interest in people. He never talked down to us, but he always treated us as young adults in a way. And maybe that was part of the attraction to this dynamic individual. Later on in high school, I had the opportunity to have Darryl as a teacher. And I was really excited for that because I had that previous association with him. But then I quickly learned that he was an incredible teacher, so full of information. He was a walking encyclopedia. And yet, even though he commanded the stage, his main objective was not for us to sit and listen to everything that he had to say, but rather his idea was to get us to question him, question our own values, question our own assumptions about life, about history, and to really get us to think. And it was with that enthusiasm, with that push to get us to question, that even got me to think about possibly becoming a teacher myself someday. Well, eventually that would happen, and I would have the opportunity in 2006 to come back to my alma mater to teach at STMA High School. And now Mr. Darryl Skogen was my colleague. And I had learned then that Darryl had continued his honing of skills as being an educator. He was even more dynamic in the classroom than ever before. And I appreciated having that experience with Darryl as a colleague now. He always impressed me as a person who would take one for the team. His motto was, let's do whatever is best for kids. And if that meant that he had to give up his classroom for a younger teacher, or if he had to take an extra prep so that a younger teacher wouldn't have to do 3 preps, that was Darryl's attitude. Even though he had the seniority and the experience to basically call the shots. But that wasn't Darryl. Darryl's attitude was, again, what's best for kids, what's best for other people. This enthusiasm for the school and for his kids continued all the way until Darryl's retirement. And even afterwards, Darryl would continue to work as a statistician for the football team and as a substitute teacher, filling in spots where nobody else was available. Even though Darryl might have preferred to be in retirement, he knew that the district was in a tight spot, and he would come out of retirement to help fill in where he could. To this day, Darryl remains a great friend of mine, and I have so much respect for this man. And I can think of very few other people who deserve the recognition to be in the STMA Hall of Fame. Mr. Darryl Skogen, who I am proud to consider an important mentor, a colleague, and a lifelong friend. Thanks, Darryl, and congratulations.
STMA Middle School East has been exceedingly fortunate to have Jackie Andrews impact our learning community since 1995. As she entered the special education world within the school setting, she brought with her phenomenal experience from working in Alaska with adults who needed the support of others to be their best selves. When asked how I would describe Jackie to others, servant leader is the first word that came to mind. And while that term in recent years has become a bit cliche, there's absolutely nothing about the way in which Jackie relentlessly cares for others that is cliche. What has made Jackie special to the students that she works with is truly two things. First, she genuinely cares about her students like no other. Jackie loves her students as deeply as any parent could love their own child. She has an amazing talent for not only believing in her students, but convincing them that they are worth believing in themselves. This is a relatively easy thing to accomplish for many of our students, but then Jackie doesn't work with many of our students. She has wholeheartedly committed herself to working with the most adversely challenged students that we have within our school. When students have no one to support them academically, Jackie does. When a student can't afford fees to participate in an activity, Jackie makes sure that they can. When she knows that students have no one to cheer for them in the stands of the activity that they participate in, you'll hear Jackie cheering. When no one knows how to support a student in participating in a school-wide academic competition, Jackie not only fights the fight to advocate for him, she finds who he sees as his champion and makes sure that all of the pieces are in the right place, regardless of what the outcome will be, but to ensure his inclusion. When a student finds themselves in the most unimaginable and horrifying situation, it is Jackie who is with them during every minute of need, ensuring that he knows not only is he her top priority, but the very reason for why she shows up to school each and every day. And yet when a student has knowingly messed up, despite all of the best laid plans, it is Jackie also sitting alongside of them, serving a spoonful of tough love, ensuring them that this too shall pass, and that she will be there with them when they return to school to roll up her sleeves and get to work to make sure that the next time they get it right. The impact that Jackie has had on our school, her students, the staff, and my administration extends far beyond any words or explanation that I can share with you. Her selfless generosity, wisdom, acceptance, and professional example will shine on long beyond her retirement. For she has planted these very gifts within each of us. It will be the greatest legacy one can have, to stir in others to care more deeply, be brighter, choose to be another's champion, while demonstrating the highest moral code imaginable. That is Jackie Andrews' legacy. I will see it in her students, hear it in her parents, and observe it throughout our staff. And there, in the deepest of times, that call me to see things differently, hear things more honestly, and act more compassionately, I will hear Jackie's voice as if we were sitting within my office, rumbling with a trust and vulnerability that I know with few others. These are the things I will never forget and always be grateful for. Now, on a lighter side, you don't work in the EBD land as a teacher for 25 years and not find humor that enables you to survive. Some brief phrases that will flood Jackie and her colleagues with a few chuckles, I hope, would be monkey shine, or how about welcome to Wisconsin Dells, or kids telling her that her work husband had stopped by to say hello. We've had the great fortune of sharing many laughs, many more that I will be able to share in this venue, yet now somehow I'm tasked at finding someone to fill your enormous shoes. You've led your department, been the site council president, been an officer within the teachers union, gone to Long Lake, taught CPI, served on the SAT team, started College Mondays, which turned into Motivational Mondays, to celebrating the first day of school, and the list simply goes on and on. I will find someone to be the next EBD teacher, but believe me, I will be telling them all about you. There's nothing I wish more for you, Jackie, than to fiercely embrace and enjoy every minute that you are blessed with to spend alongside that wonderful man that you married. What a wonderful adventure that you and Mike will have, along with your children, Emily and Brett, and growing family of grandchildren. You will be thankful to have more time to share with your mom and your sisters and all of your friends. Know that we, back here at Middle School East, respect and love you deeply, and will miss you more than you can even imagine. Congratulations, Jackie, on an extremely successful career, and know that we wish you nothing but the very best throughout your entire retirement.
Lee Brown worked for the district for over 31 years. She started at St. Michael Elementary in 1988, teaching 5th grade and 6th grade before becoming the Dean of Students. She was named principal at Big Woods Elementary in 2003. I had the honor and privilege of working alongside Lee for almost 2 decades. She is one of the most skilled administrators that I've had the pleasure of working with in my 27 years of education. She was an exceptional principal who continuously sought the opinions of staff, students, and colleagues. She always put students first, and she worked tirelessly to build strong, positive relationships with students, families, and staff. Her outstanding leadership resulted in positive student engagement, staff commitment, parent satisfaction, and high achievement results. She was a fierce advocate for elementary students and staff and was known for her strong work ethic and stellar communication skills. I think Lee's biggest accomplishment was her innate ability to connect with kids and build strong relationships with students and staff. She accepted all children for who they were and was a champion for kids to overcome often seemingly insurmountable obstacles. She did whatever it took to help students grow, all while maintaining an upbeat attitude and a contagious sense of humor. I remember 13 years ago when I was named principal at Albertville Primary School, and I called her repeatedly to help me navigate the many intricacies associated with being a brand new principal. Her patience and her willingness to help are traits that I will always remember. Time after time, I would call her and she would drop whatever she was doing to help me, and it would often cause her to work into the wee hours of the evening. That is the Lee Brown that I know. Lee Brown is student-centered, helpful, dedicated, and always willing to lend a helping hand. I also fondly remember and treasure the fun times we had playing practical jokes on each other and fellow administrators. I could always count on Lee to brighten my day with her shenanigans and fantastic sense of humor. When asked about her time at STMA, Lee said it all comes back to the kids that she served. She said, "We laugh every single day here, and it's because of the kids and the things that they say and do." The district's top core value of always putting kids first seemed to be coined with Lee in mind. Lee has positively impacted the lives of thousands of STMA students, and when she retired, she left a remarkable legacy behind, and one that will remain with us for years to come. Lee, I wish you nothing but the best as you embark on this exciting journey. It's truly been an honor working alongside you. Thank you for your service at Big Woods Elementary, and thank you for your service to students and staff at St. Michael Albertville Public Schools. You have touched many, many lives, and the communities of St. Michael and Albertville are better places because of you.
I'm excited to have an opportunity to talk a little bit about Katy Droff. She was a wonderful administrative assistant at Middle School West, and she did retire actually last year in 2019. And we did not get an opportunity to speak about how great she was and all of the great things she did, not only for Middle School West, but she was in the district for over 20 years. But this year, we do have an opportunity, even though it's virtually, to share a little bit about Katy, and just wanted to thank her for her service and describe a little bit about the impact she had at our school. So we're excited to be here today. Katy had a unique position where she was the face of our school, and probably not as impactful to just students alone, but to families as well. She was in the district far longer than I was, and was able to start Middle School West with myself and Mr. Jennison as new principals to a new building. Although she was not new to STMA, we had a new school starting in 2009, and her impact was the enrollment process. She got an opportunity to be the first person that families met with. She completed enrollments from 2009, where we had about 724 kids, to when she retired, over 1,100, and she was the point person for all of those families, not only again to meet and greet them, but to get them enrolled into our school. So she had a huge impact because she was able to meet with every single family, show them around our school, introduce them to our staff, and just was a wonderful person to start out their career at our school. I think the whole office mostly appreciated Katy's dry sense of humor. She always was caring, but also had a fun sense of humor and made us laugh. She also was great at somewhat parenting kids that needed maybe some redirection, or she was always prepared for any person or anybody or anything that came through our front door, whether they were excited and happy or frustrated and upset. She was the first person to meet those people at the door and create a great experience, even though some of those are difficult. She was the face of our school for the first 10 years, so she was amazing. Well, I most wish for her retirement to have an opportunity to spend some time at the cabin. I know she enjoys that. I know that she and Randy make maple syrup each spring, so I hope that they can enjoy that hobby throughout the springs to come. And I know that they are grandparents as well, so they have kids that have some young daughters, so I hope that they spend some time with family. I know some of that includes travel, even although I think one of them's in Florida, and I know with today's world, I hope the restrictions loosen up so that you can find time as grandparents to travel around and spend some time with not only kids but grandkids. So we wish you the best in retirement. Well, I know Katy probably wouldn't want the attention. She's not a person who loves attention. But when we have an opportunity to recognize somebody that's been in the district for over 20 years, we have to take the opportunity to not only thank, but to recognize the wonderful people in the school district. Katy is certainly one of those. Thank you for your time at STMA, and most specifically from me, for the 10 years that you helped start Middle School West as well as shape Middle School West. You were an invaluable piece of our office, so thank you for your leadership.
Francis was probably, for me, knowing him for 19, 20 years now, Francis was the most easygoing, kind, hardworking guy I've ever met. I mean, he was just a good guy all around. Just his commitment to the ball fields, cutting the grass, making the lines, just having everything done nice and neat for the kids was a big commitment he had to the students. And just overall getting the job done, no matter what it took. If we had a rain day or something where we had to dry a field out, get it ready for tournament play, he was always there to get it done with me. When I first started with him, we're probably about we're a little over 20 years age difference. And I remember we started working and we were gonna cut something. He said, well, I'll go get a hacksaw. And I kind of looked at him and joked. I said, hacksaw? I said, what the heck is that? I said, we got sawzalls. One of my favorite memories was we always communicated before a snow event. And I think the one time we kind of communicated and it just kind of fell off where we didn't think the snow was going to happen. And I remember waking up early that morning at, I think it was probably about 3:30, looking out the window and it had snowed. Just a little bit. It was probably maybe about an inch, and it really wasn't supposed to. So I called Francis and I said, he answered his phone it was probably 4 a.m. He says, Francis, you going to get up? He says, why? I said, well, it snowed out. And I remember him, it didn't snow. I said, get out and look out your window. He looked out his window. All right, I'm coming in. Those were probably two of my favorite ones with him. I wish him all the best. I hope he's enjoying his time at home now and being able to putz around and get things done. And I hope he does a little traveling like he wanted to, go around and see a few different things. Just hang out and not have to do much, because he's worked a long time and he's a hard-working guy. So I wish him all the best, and I hope to keep seeing him around.
Today, I'm here to honor Rhonda Heidemann. Rhonda started her career in STMA schools in 2006 as an early childhood family education paraprofessional. Rhonda worked as an ECFE paraprofessional until about 5 years ago, when she began working as a Bright Beginnings paraprofessional. When asked about Rhonda's service in the classroom, Bright Beginnings teacher Joni Hendrickson said, "Thank you for being amazing, warm, kind, and giving person. Your love and support towards the preschoolers and staff will be sorely missed. Enjoy your time with your family and wishing you lots of good luck in your retirement. Please keep in touch." I asked Jane Helgestad, Early Childhood Coordinator, to share her thoughts about Rhonda's service to ECFE and Bright Beginnings. And she said that it has been a joy to watch Rhonda over the years providing care and comfort for our littlest friends in early childhood. Jane went on to say that Rhonda began her career with us in ECFE classrooms, where she was nurturing and her gentle voice was perfect for our little children. Over the years, Rhonda established positive relationships with our program families, and they felt lucky to have her with their children each and every day. She provided excellent one-on-one time with kids, making them feel special. Reading stories or playing games was one of her favorite things. She has been incredibly flexible with her schedule throughout the years, working with all ages from birth on up. I asked Rhonda to share her thoughts about her time working with STMA schools. And here's what she said. She said her favorite aspect of her job was connecting with kids, listening to them, and their stories. She felt her greatest accomplishment was working in ECFE with the youngest kids when she helped them come out of their shell. They trust her. This gave her a real sense of accomplishment, watching them learn and grow. Her favorite memory in general was every year their field trip to the Como Zoo with colleagues and families, seeing the students interact with their own families. Upon retirement, Rhonda plans to finish getting their house ready to sell, and then she and her husband have bought land in Osceola, Wisconsin, where they plan to build their dream home. They hope to move in October or November. She also looks forward to spending more time with her granddaughter. In Rhonda's own words, she said, "It's been a great ride, a great opportunity to meet families in our community and see the growth of our children." Personally, I am fond of reminding staff that the word professional is key in the term paraprofessional. Rhonda Heidemann embodies the term paraprofessional. She puts the needs of her students first and never hesitates to go above and beyond. Her knowledge base, experience, and attitude are second to none. We will miss your work ethic, your positive attitude, your willingness to give to your students every opportunity to succeed. Rhonda, on behalf of the students and staff at Albertville Primary, I want to thank you for all of your hard work and dedication to STMA schools, and I wish you the very best in your retirement. Good luck and congratulations.
I get the privilege of talking about George Lenin, one of our night lead custodians over the past 33 years at STMA schools. George brought so much laughter to his colleagues and friends. His engagement with kids, doing what is best for them by serving them every single day and every evening, and preparing our school for us the next day is what we desire so much in people. The faithfulness, the commitment, the desire to build relationships with the people that we work with. George, when I met him, obviously brought so much laughter when I met him over this past year. And he instantly wanted to joke and to share stories. A couple stories, of course, that bring laughter to us, the fact that he's scared of heights. And so going up on ladders and going up on lifts, Jackie said, Jesse, it was hilarious to watch him have to do these things because they're part of his job, but ultimately he had such a fear of that. And Jackie said it was the best thing to watch ever. Connecting with him in the office just brought so much joy to me this past year as he would still help us out over the 2019-20 school year. And it was so much fun to see how he engaged with the people around him because that was so important to who he was and what he brought to STMA schools. George, we wish you the absolute best in the next part of your life. We wish you joy, we wish you peace, and we just hope that you can take this next step of your journey and enjoy every moment and continue to bring a strong laughter and relationships and joy to the people around you. Thank you, George, for your commitment for 33 years to STMA schools.
The biggest thing I would say about Ann, she's the kind of person that genuinely wants to please and help everyone she can. She's been asked to do so many different tasks, and she's been the media paraprofessional at Middle School West. And that's throughout all the 11 years that I've worked with her. She helped open our building as the media paraprofessional. And I think the most thing that I can tell you is Ann has such a can-do attitude. Her positivity rubs off on students and staff every day. And just because she's so tech savvy and is such a hard and efficient worker, Ann has been able to tackle many other tasks. In fact, she volunteered always to do other tasks. It would be hard for anybody to replicate what Ann has taken on in the 11 years that she's worked for Middle School West. Ann is more to the students than just someone who knows a great book to read. She is more than just a person who can help them fix or find their password and login for Student View. Ann's the person who offers empathy and compassion when they're struggling to find an overdue book. She'll even outline a plan for them to make it right when they can't find an overdue book. She's the person they go to at lunch to talk about what might be bothering them. She told me that she's going to miss the students the most, but I also believe the students are going to miss her the most. There's so many things that she did well. I think one of the things that sticks out just immediately right now is we have character education that we do through something called COURT, which is our student advisory. And there was a staff that left last year that had been doing our quote wall. And there's a theme that kind of happens about every 1 to 2 to 3 months. It shifts for the students. And we usually have quotes that are put up every single day that are kind of on that theme. Anne was always a part of making sure that stuff was put on the TV screens, and so students get lots of exposure to the quote of the day. But when that other staff left, she's like, I could just take on all parts of that quote of the day. I was like, well, thank you for stepping up, because I didn't know who was going to do that since that staff left, and Anne did it really well. In fact, she even, because she's so organized and planful, she had it all the way through distance learning as well. And I did actually pull a quote from that. This was from March 26th this year. It's from Don Adams. It says, "To give real service, you must add something which cannot be bought or measured with money, and that is sincerity and integrity." Mrs. Rausch, the students and staff at West are definitely going to miss your sincerity and integrity. And I want to wish you a relaxable and enjoyable retirement. You deserved it. I'm sure that you and Matt will find many great days and places to take a walk. I've been seeing on Facebook you like to go for hikes. Keep enjoying those. I've also seen that family is so important to you. I know you'll take more time to be with your family. I'm sure you'll invest in our community and our school still in your retirement, and we'd appreciate it if every now and then you could come around just to say hi. So thank you so much for your service to STMA schools, and enjoy your much-deserved retirement.
It is my pleasure to talk about Wanda Scherber and wish her a very happy retirement. Wanda began working at Kids Play in November of 1991. We had 30 children enrolled in our program. Things sure have changed. Right now we have over 600 children in our program. Wanda is an early bird. She shows up at 5:45 a.m. every morning, no matter if it's raining, snowing, or sleeting. She's very dependable, and that's one of her best qualities. For over 29 years, we never had to worry that Wanda would not be there to open those doors and to greet those families. Wanda is also a kid at heart. She loves the color purple, and she also loves the character Eeyore. Not sure why she enjoys that character in particular, because it certainly doesn't reflect Wanda's personality. I guess opposites do attract. Wanda expressed her enjoyment of her job every day and was very, very positive. She would do things to help others, such as sewing masks right now during this pandemic. Another word that describes Wanda is compassion. Our director, Mary Ellen Bartle, hired Wanda 30 years ago, and it's been a dream all along. Wanda interacts with all the children really well. She certainly enjoys her job. Her compassion and kindness has touched many families. Since Wanda's been there for years, she's been able to take care of children, and now they've become parents, and now they're sending their children. So she's seen multiple generations come through our program. There is a saying that people may forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Wanda was the first person I met when I was hired 20 years ago. She made me feel very welcomed. I remember that day very clearly. I know there are parents, children, and coworkers that will never forget how special Wanda made them feel. Wanda, we thank you for 29 years of service in our program and our school district. I hope you enjoy your retirement.
I get the privilege of talking about Michael Toad, one of our custodians at Big Woods Elementary School. I describe him as cool, calm, and collective. The one thing about Michael, as you know, is he is somebody who does his job every single day faithfully and prepares our school for each morning. When you think about STMA at its highest level, you think about somebody like Michael because he does his job faithfully without expecting the recognition and without being in the light that people are every single day. Michael comes in, and as he works each evening and prepares for the next morning of a clean and perfected school, I know the impact that that has on students and staff, because when we all walk in the next morning and see the hallways and the classrooms like they are, it helps us relax, it helps us stay focused on what we need to do, and again, it just represents who Michael is in his faithfulness and his commitment to STMA schools. A funny story is when I got to know Michael a little bit, he was cleaning one of our office spaces, and I came up behind him, and I was a little distance away, and I just said, "Hey, Michael, good evening." And he didn't respond. And I said, "Michael, hey, good evening." And he didn't respond. I'm like, oh, what's going on? Well, here he had in his headphones, listening to something. He then saw me, And I just said, hey, what are you listening to? And in that moment, he took out his earbuds and instantly jumped into his books and his music that he listened to. And he turned a switch on of just expressing this joy of what he listens to every night to keep him on pace and to keep him focused on doing his job every night. He told me about books I've never heard of, and it was just a great conversation to get to know about what his heart was like and who he was as a person. Obviously, we wish Michael the very best in his retirement. We thank you, Michael, for being such a faithful and committed partner here at STMA Schools. We wish you peace and enjoyment in the next stage of your life. Thank you for who you are and for representing STMA at the highest level.